pro.
Yeah, the draft process, man.
Oh yeah, that's always a good
That's
one.
always a good one. Your draft process, coming out. What was the talk? Was it early first round or what was the talk? You know what I mean? Like as far as I already know, I know everybody know as far as the other receivers coming out that year. You know what I mean? Your combine experience, like how was that coming out, getting preparing for the draft?
Well, getting ready for the draft, like the early talks was like second round, early third, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, man, like I know I ain't, I know I can play with these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, I get a call from the Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl says, all right, we want you to play. At that point in time, back then, it was like everybody was kind of like running from the Senior Bowl. And they was running because they're like, man, they work you too hard. Like they say their practices are hard, whatever, but it's the best guys, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, shit, if that's the best guys, that's where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about practicing hard. Like I felt, the way we felt was like we was going against the best dudes every day in college anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I got to go. You know what I mean? And bro, like I went to the Senior Bowl, and I was in the same Senior Bowl with LaDainian Thomas, right? He was there. They had a linebacker. I can't remember his first name. He ended up going to Pittsburgh. I think he went to Georgia. Last name was Bell. I mean, he was killing it. LaDainian was killing it. So I'm going up against, Fred Smoot, Ken Lucas, like all these dudes who's supposed to be the good dudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, like it was crazy. My first day there, my uniform and stuff from Miami didn't show up. So I'm like, damn, that's the hell's going on. So like I gotta borrow stuff. So I had to borrow a dude from Florida State Cleats, believe that or not. Borrow Florida State Cleats. I had another dude, I had the Green Bay Packers shoulder pads. I had a Pittsburgh Steelers helmet without the decal. I was stank.
No swag.
Stank, right? Zero swag, right?
And then it was ass up.
And listen, and the shoes I had was basically a high top, and they were screw-ins. I said, bro, like what y'all try to ambush me, man? Like what's going on? Like I know my equipment back there somewhere. Y'all just playing with me, right?
Let me see what he can do.
It was right. It was raining that day. Bro, I was slipping because I'm out there in 7 studs, really, right? And I'm slipping. I'm looking bad. The helmet had my head. It was so tight. It had my head hurting. I'm like, no, man, this ain't right. That second day came. My uniform, my shoulder pads and stuff showed up. Bro, it was almost like Superman, dog. Like real talk, like Superman. Like nothing I did was bad. Like I shined on everybody. The best corner I was going up against every day was Ken Lucas, right? And Ken Lucas was a big dude, played at Carolina and all that stuff. Big guy, physical guy. But like I was having a good time against Ken Lucas, right? Fred Smoot, right? We, man-to-man podcast, right? So we gonna So when you at the Senior Bowl, they basically got you like livestock. They got everybody in the line. You're walking, you just got shorts on, no shirt, no nothing. You get up there and you're weighing yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get up there and, Reggie Wayne, 185, Fred Smoot got up there. I know Fred liked to talk. He liked to talk. Fred good dude, man.
70.
Listen, bro, Fred Smoot get up there. Fred Smoot, 169. I said, oh.
Hey, do you remember? Hey, I already cut you off. Do you remember the shit we used to? You remember the shit we used to say, bro?
Smoot. Hey, man. Listen. I like, damn, 169, Mississippi State.
But like,
man, he was pretty good, right? So we had practice, right? I'm feeling good. I got my uniform. Miami gear. Get up there, Jesse Palmer. He was one of my quarterbacks from Florida. Then it was like Ben Lear from Auburn. So that's all I remember, right? But every time I went, Jesse Palmer would cut the line, right? He would always get up there and throw. He'd always get up there and throw. And I was like, cool, because Jesse can throw. You know what I'm saying? So, the coaches and stuff, they're like, all right, what you want to run, right? So, most dudes want to run deep, show their speed and this and that, the 9 route, post route. Man, he asked me what I wanted to run. I looked over there and said who was next for, defensive back. It was Fred Smoot, right? I said, look, I know they all think they're going to do is press, right? They ain't playing no off coverage. They're letting them do what they want to do. I know they're going to press. Say what you want to run. Slant, right? So I get up there. He pressed. Man, I hit Fred Smoot. He went flying. You know what I'm saying? Caught my slant. Everybody hear all this, coaches and stuff like, woo, right? Whoa. So I just remember Fred Smoot like, all right, Wayne, I see how it's going to be. Right? I see how it's going to be. I say, hey, bro, it ain't personal right now. Right? They got me in the third round, hey, I got to get up.
Trying to eat.
Right. I get up there again. All right, Reggie, what you want to run? Fred Smoot. Slant. Right, bro. I ran 3 slants in a row against Fred Smoot, bro. But it was like everything I did, my routes, I didn't drop nothing. It got to the point to where I became real good friends with Cedric Wilson, who was a receiver from Tennessee, right? His son actually plays now with the Dallas Cowboys. I got to the point to where it was game day. I told Jesse Palmer and all them, like, don't throw. You ain't got to throw me the ball. Don't throw it to me. Because I can't do nothing but hurt myself from this point on.
I done made my money.
Right. Hey, bro, like, everything I did, only thing after I catch the ball or run a route, only thing I heard was like, ooh, hey. Yeah. I'm like, you know what I mean? So, like, people would run away from the Senior Bowl. I say, nah, man. Senior Bowl, that got me from third round, maybe, second rounder, early third to a first rounder. You know what I'm saying? And then on Combine, like, my pro day, I would say, I go to Combine. Combine back then, Miami guys, we didn't do anything. It was always like, man, Miami boys think they too much. It wasn't that. It's like our pro day was like 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Right. It was everybody there. So I'm like, y'all go see us. You know what I mean? So like we were just basically there. And plus with the Senior Bowl, I did a lot of the interviews and stuff already. You know what I'm saying? So like pro day came, it was everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? And then I did everything, cool. But the biggest thing was a lot of people was always questioning my speed, right? Yeah. So get down to the run to 40. The first 40 I ran was a 4.47. I'm like, all right, cool, right? See people looking at each other, you're like, okay. You know what I'm saying? My next one I ran was a 4.46, right? So I'm like, cool, I'm pretty consistent. Cool, right? Fastest I ever ran, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that was the right time to run it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point to where like I did all my drills, did everything. Man, I looked and my dad was there, right? He was at the pro day. I looked at him. I was like, hey, I think we're gonna be all right. I think we're gonna be good, man. Like, we cool. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, it's gonna happen. So you're getting ready for the for the draft and all that stuff, man. And you don't know where you're gonna go. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? And then I get a call from the Miami Dolphins on draft day, right? Miami Dolphins say, hey, they're gonna pick you. I'm like, all right, cool, perfect.
What pick was
Miami. This was like early 21, 22, something like that. It was early. It was mid, I should say. So I'm like, cool, perfect. I'm sitting up there looking at my phone. Phones back then, I had a big ass phone, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, cool. I'm like, I got all my frequency. They on the clock, looking at my phone. looking at the
And they're
TV,
coming through.
looking at my phone, like, shit, is my phone working? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The guy, comes up there to commissioner goes up there to read the pick, and he says Miami Dolphins select Jamar Fletcher, defensive back, Wisconsin. I said, man, what kind of shit is this? They just called me. You called me and told me.
On draft day.
Right, on draft day. Like
That
damn,
happened
like,
to me twice on draft day.
like, what the hell is going on? So then they keep moving, right? New Orleans Saints call me, right? I'm like, oh, wow, this would be great. Go back home, play for the Saints, grew up a Saints fan, all that stuff. And Coach Hazlitt was the head coach. And it was like, man, they called us like, hey, man, just let you know it's a strong possibility that we're going to pick you. I'm like, hey, man, I done heard this shit before, man. Like a couple of picks before, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, chilling. They get on the clock, and the New Orleans Saints select Deuce McAllister. I'm like, well, damn.
Oh, so
why?
This how the league gonna be.
Yeah, I'm like, why are they pump faking me? They straight Akeem Olajuwon head fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, at this point in time, bro, I'm like, man, and I'm looking, right? Picks going by, right? There's already been 5 receivers selected already. David Terrell from Michigan, Corin Robinson from NC State, left as a junior, Rod Gardner from Clemson, my teammate Santana Moss, right? Philly, who I thought was going to be a good pick for me. They got Freddie Mitchell, right? So it was already 5 dudes already in front of me. So I'm like, at this point in time, I'm like, man, I don't even care. Like, wherever I go, bro, I'm going to make it happen. But it was at one place, I'm like, man, because my head coach in college, this was his first year coaching at Cleveland, Butch Davis, right? I'm like, damn, man, I'm about to go to Cleveland, right? It's going to be cold as shit out there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already kind of getting my mind right, like, man, I'm going to probably go to Cleveland. Right? Phone call happens, right? Well, before the phone call, Edrin James called me, right? He said, hey, bro, I think we're going to get you. I'm like, man, you sound like damn Miami and the Saints. Like, man, stay off my line, man. You clogging my line up, right? So you're like, nah, bro. You're like, nah, Weez, I think we're going to get you, So I'm like, man, we'll see, So then I'm sitting up there chilling. My phone rings, right? It's the 30th pick. I look, and it's a 317 area code. I'm like, okay. Answer the phone, and it's Jim Moore. I'm on the phone with him. And, he basically say, man, how would you like to be, an Indianapolis coach? When I'm like, coach, no disrespect, but, like, I done been down this road before, man. Like, this has happened to me twice. I believe it when I see it. So he was like, nah, if you don't believe me, we'll stay on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, we'll stay on the phone. So they get up there, Indianapolis coach select Reggie Wayne, 30th pick, yada, yada, University of Miami. And I had some people around, had like a small little party or whatever. So, it was jubilation. It was, everybody was happy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting up here, I'm happy, excited, right? This is my dream. But I'm saying to myself, bro, I didn't talk to every team between the Senior Bowl and the Combine and Pro Day. It was one team that I didn't talk to. Right? Talk to at all. And that was the Indianapolis Colts, right? Didn't talk to them at all. And it was just weird, man. It was just weird how it all fell out. So, I tell Jim Moore, I'm like, hey, coach, you don't mind if I come in the morning? Because they wanted me to fly out right then, right? So I like, you don't mind if I come in the morning, because it was like I had a lot of family and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, fine, So I flew out there that morning, and shoot, man, the rest was history.
Oh, what a hit! Butler